Here's a small head. Small ones, right?
Here.
Go ahead,
Roll.
whenever. Go. Yeah.
No.
Go for it.
Can you state your name?
Well,
What's your name?
Just keep people from calling.
Walter Milton Keller.
And what was your nickname when you were a rabbit? Your nickname when you were a rabbit?
Chief.
Chief. When were you born?
Baltimore, Maryland.
And where was, what time was that? What's your date of birth? Your date of birth?
July the 27th, 1926.
And are you working now?
Now I'm retired.
You're retired. When did you start A-rabbing?
When I was 13 years of age.
Oh, really? And why did you start doing that?
Huh?
Why did you start A-rabbing? Why did you start A-rabbing?
Well, during the Depression, you had to go out trying to make some money to survive some kind of way. So I worked on a wagon with my brother. I had a brother that was A-rabbing back in the 30s. So I worked on a wagon with him for a while. Then after I stopped working with him, I went down in a street called Rock Street. They had a big stable down there with Did I? Man, Did I Crazy, I think his name was. Had a big stable there, and they had a lot of fellows working out at that stable. So I started working on a wagon down in Rock Street. So I have 10 cents a day.
What was your brother's name?
Clarence
And what,
A. Kelly.
oh, okay. And what was your parents' name? Your father's name and your mother's maiden name?
Huh?
Your father's name and your mother's maiden name?
My father was Thomas Edward Kelly. My mother was Mary Lottie Stevens.
And where were they born?
Albemarle, Virginia.
Both of them?
Total.
And do you remember their date of birth?
No. My mother was in February 12th, 1890. My father, I couldn't tell you.
When did you first learn to ride a horse? When did you first learn to ride a horse?
When I first started doing what?
Riding a horse?
Right.
Driving a horse.
When I was 13 years of age.
So you started A-rabbing and driving horses then?
And driving.
Where did you get the equipment and food to maintain your horse? Did you have your own horse when you were 13?
No, I did not.
No. So you started with a
He
stable?
he was driving a horse out of Johnny Barnes stable down off of Sharp Street in South Baltimore.
Who taught you to drive? Who taught you to drive the horse?
Self.
Oh, you did? So you just learned how to do that?
By looking and watching.
Could you describe your typical day as an A-rabber? Could you describe your typical day as an A-rabber?
Can I describe? Well, for one thing, A-rab is more of a thing that you got to get within yourself to go around and cope with different other people, getting you to know one another. Then I become to like it very much because a lot of people I got in contact with, they taught me a lot of things as I was trying to sell them something or something like that, And then I found out that they had a lot of elder people doing it, that they weren't able to get out to get to the stores and all, even though stuff back in the 30s and all that stuff was cheap, but they appreciated you bringing it right to their homes. So I know a lot about Abraham. You get up 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to go to markets. Yeah, hook a horse up and go down in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. Go down to the marketplace. Let's go there. The farmers used to come in with the trucks and all. And we used to load the wagon down there in the marketplace. And leave from the marketplace and start working from the marketplace back uptown. So you up maybe 24 hours. A-rab. But it all came out, I really enjoyed it when I was doing it. So I retired from that, I went down to the waterfront and started working. See. I worked around there about 11 years. Then I left that and I went to work for the government. And I put 31 years with the government. See. And then the whole time I still had, I had bought horses. I had horses of my own. And I had them out. The fellow was using them. I wasn't making no money out of it, but that's something I just got attached to them. I like to have, you understand? And I had them all the time. I was working for the government 31 years. So I come out, when I retired, I thought I'd get more closer. And I wound up, I found myself, I was doing more work than I was on. So I just let it go. So now I don't have any. All I have is just wagons and horses. But I'm thinking about getting dollars. I miss it, you know.
Why did you retire from A-Rabbing?
They call it?
Why did you retire from A-Rabbing?
I went to work around a waterfront. I started making a little bigger paper. You know, so, yeah. I put 11 years around the waterfront.
What kind of food did you sell when you were A-Rabbing?
Paper.
What kind of food did you sell?
And mixed, we had the fruit, vegetables, fish, coal, wood. Back during the early, late 30s and early 40s, a lot of people had cook stoves and, coal and wood stoves. They didn't have like you got now, gas burners and stuff like that. So you had a lot of customers during the summertime would buy wood. Wood was all a year-round thing. You could sell wood. They had wood to cook their food and all. And ice, they had ice boxes, and they had no refrigerators like we had. I used to go out every Sunday up there on Carlton Street. They had an ice house up there. I load me 4 or 5 cakes of ice. Well, I sell ice.
Did you ever sell junk?
Beg pardon?
Did you ever sell junk?
Junk? Oh yeah. When I hustle junk all during the day, and then in the evening I put up in the junk shop and sell off.
How is that different from selling produce? And
Is it difference?
yeah, how is it different? If there's a difference.
Well, when you junk, mostly we didn't buy nothing most in junk. Mostly people give you stuff like that. But produce and stuff like that, you had to go to the market and pay for what you get. That was the difference in it. And you didn't make that much money out of no junk, but doing then, but you made enough maybe get a pound of pork chop or something like that going.
What differences are there between A-Rabbing back then and A-Rabbing, say, today?
It's a whole lot of difference. Today, well, they weren't, the city ordinance wasn't as strict on A-Rabs as it is now. Today, you got to spend a whole lot of money to get out to A-Rab. It's $300 and some for one badge, isn't it? And then you got to have your horse and wagon up to par. That's another thing that come up between the Humane Society and all that. So there's a whole lot of difference between then and there, because they had 50 times as many horse and wagons on the street years ago, but today you ain't got but a few, that's all. That would make it different.
What kind of people were A-Rabbing back when you did it? Were they like, were they mostly white? Were they mostly black? Were they female, male?
They had both, mixed white and blacks. Yeah, they had plenty of them. Mr. Mickens can verify, he knew more whites than I do. They had teams all over on the east side, East Baltimore, out there at the West End, up there behind the Coliseum. Oh, they had them all around. Yeah.
So all different kinds of people. Do you remember a lot of women? Were there a lot of women?
A lot of women? I only know of 2 women that was A-Rab. Back in the 30s. So Miss Clemson. And another lady, I never did know that lady's name. She was short, but heavy set woman. She used to sell afro papers before then. That woman could be there from here down to Carlton Street, and you could hear how she had a very high-pitched voice, and she would holler too. I'm telling you. She used to drive a team going to Water Fisher. They call it Screw. They're up in Carlton Street. That was the 200 block, I think it is. 200 block of Carlton Street. Yeah. And she lived in 200 block Arlington Avenue. She did. Yeah, Mr. Clancy, Miss Clancy. Hey, y'all.
What stable were you mainly in? The stables that you worked out of. Can you name those and
Yeah, I
describe
worked
them?
out of Water Fishers up in Carlton Street during the late 30s and the early 40s. Yeah, 1940, 41 when the war broke out. I was working for Joseph Giles, man, Mr. Joseph Giles, who had teams up there where the back of Calhoun Street. No, Moses Street, Mountain Moses, where the police department is now. There was a stable back there. I was working with him cleaning up till I bought my own team. I was 15 years old, going to school. Coming out of school, he'd have a wagon load of wood sawed up. All I do is go out and sell it and come back. So I worked with him clean up till I went to the service. Yeah, when I went to the service and come back out, I bought another team. Me and I went in partnership with a fellow called John Queen. And when I bought a team, we were going down the market. He didn't want to load like I want to load. He wanted one of this and one of that, one of that. I said, man, you can't make no money like that. So we just come on unbenefited so far. So I went and sold the team. Well, after that, I went on down the waterfront. So I worked on down the waterfront.
Do you know what happened to some of the stables that you used to work out of?
Yeah, most of them is torn down now. I work most of them, yeah. The ones I had myself, in Surrey Street, they tore down. And the ones up there with Water Fisher had, that's torn down. And burnt down. And up there, I used to have my horse up there with the fat back in them. That's down, but it ain't torn down.
So just over time, they just.
I stayed in here 17 years with Buddy Kratz. 17 years I used to stay with my horses in here.
Now, why do some of the stables stay open like this, and why do some of them close down?
Why? But the old Arabs, they all passed away and all. So you don't have the people that we had doing, Arabs. I mean, that did it for a living, not just to meet their needs. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have that. There's been a few people got that really Arab out there for a living. You know what I mean?
But can you describe for everybody what you mean, just to clarify, just to clear it up?
I didn't hear that.
Just describe what you mean by making a living versus just trying to get something day to day. Can you tell us what you mean by that?
Well, you take Mr. Savoy. He's been doing it longer than I have. They raised all their children up. He did it for a living. But he got a man up there. He got a habit, and he'd go out there jumping. All he wanted to do is get something, make enough for his habit.
Mm-hmm.
He got a lot of that today. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you don't have too many Arabs.
How many totals of years did you Arab?
How many what?
How many years did you Arab?
Me? Oh no, I see. 38, 41. Oh, I've been Arab 25 years so far. That was more with the Smithsonian Institute. For 25 years, I've been going over there at the participant in the festival, Folk Life Festival. And I take fruit over there, load the fruit on the wagon, and the people that's walking around viewing all the stuff that's going on, I put a fish of watermelon on them, They all red to the ground, whoa, red. And he turned around and oh, he got watermelon. I said, that's man, what did you got? Tell him, pick one up. You just cut slices and load them up on the wagon. They come by the lines. We have lines on both sides of the wagons. Cut them up. Stand back and take one. Take one. Take one. Give me that money. That's all they did, see? So I had a man over there with me last year. Savoy, one of Wisconsin, Frog. Had one of his sons over there. He came up. He would cut them up, and he would stand back, and he would howl, pick them up, pick them up, pick them up, and they would turn around, look and thought the man was crazy or something. But he'd tell the watermelon, come in, and slices of pineapple, the pineapples and the mangoes. You take a mango, you know how big it is, got a big seed in the middle. It would take some slices 4 ways and peel it down. That peels down. We're selling them. And we call them in there, they would eat them up. You go there a lot of times, you got different people would come in there. They just different denominations of people coming there. Some of them, they crave for that mango. If you ain't got that mango, you in bad shape, you ain't gonna make no money. So every year for 25 years, we've been carrying mango. Once we used to have, we carry apple on sticks over there. We stopped that. See, they got the refreshment stands all around on the malls. So they're selling candy, plus hot dogs, stuff like that, popcorn. Yeah, well, we stopped that. So only 3 items I would do loading. That was the watermelon, the pineapple, and the mango. Mr. Mickles there when we was lemons and orange swish with a peppermint stick on it. We stopped that. The peppermint candy that they were selling is soft. Soon you cut the top off and stick it down in the lemon, it melt right on down. Go. So we couldn't get the hard peppermint sticks no more. Stop selling.
How did you get your nickname?
How to get it? They used to call me Teethless in time. I didn't have no teeth in front. So I went and bought me some teeth, put some teeth in it, and then, hey, teeth. That's what I call my teeth. Because I had a mouth full of teeth. But all through the years, people stopped calling me teeth. They was calling me my name, Kelly, see. So I had taken all my teeth out when they got tops and bottoms. I don't have burns on my head because somebody called me that teeth. Kelly is all I do. They call me.
What responsibilities did you have when you were A-rabbing in terms of when you owned your own horses in a stable or when you had your own stable?
Well, I was young and I was crazy about the women, the girls. The children got involved, so I had to go out and try to support them. So that's what I did. I was supporting them and taking care of home too, see, because my mother, she used to work for the WPA, see. And so she was getting older, so I stopped her from working, paying the rent and buying the food and taking care of my children too. I got 10 children, 6 girls and 4 boys.
Now, are you the last wagon ride in Baltimore?
How's that?
Are you the last wagon ride in Baltimore?
No.
Do you know the last?
Oh, you mean the repair? Mm-hmm. No. I ain't the last one.
Do you know who used to do it though for your horses, for your wagons?
That's right. He passed. Arnell Brown. He passed. Yeah. Well, that do make it. Yeah. I was thinking about Joe Lewis. I know he used to work on wagons. So you got that one more boy. That's right. What's his name? He's South Baltimore? Cooper. Yeah, he used to work on wagons. I ain't seen him in a good while. But I know I'm the only one they depend on now.
So they still come to you in terms of trying to fix the wagons?
Do
they still try to come to you to fix wagons?
They do come to me.
They do?
Oh, yeah.
So how do you do that? How do you fix a wagon?
How do I fix it?
Mm-hmm.
It all depends what part of the wagon that they want to fix it with.
Mm-hmm.
See, sometimes people want the whole body built up, and they want to add a top to it. Sometimes they come in with a broken purse pole in it, or the back shield might be broken. There's different things. Shafts could be messed up. It's different things about it. Parts about a wagon that had to be repaired.
When did you start repairing wagons?
Oh my. See, when I come down here, 1963. Yeah, that's when I started repairing on wagons. Right here in the stable with Walter Kratz. Right in the stable.
And he taught you how to.
Yeah.
How long had he been repairing?
He would pass him up until he died. He died. He'd been dead 4 years. Be 4 years. The 25th of May.
Mm-hmm. What did he teach you in terms of? I mean, can you describe the body of a wagon to me, and what is it about how you can bring it back together and build it up? Because it's a very rare thing that can happen.
Mainly when you got a wagon, a man says, I want you to fix a wagon for me. So, okay, you go to the wagon. They vary in different sizes. Some, like these pony wagons now, they're 42 inches wide, 7 foot long. The only one wagon I know that's a little wider, that's what Howard has. It's 42 inches wide and 7 foot long. And they got tall wheels on it. See, most of these wheels we have on these little wagons is 24, 28. The small wheel is 24 inches. The high wheel is 28 inches. Now you get a 30, 32 or 36.
36 in the back, I think.
You got 32, 36
Uh-huh.
on a high wheel. Then on a big wagon, you got to watch not to build it like I do a small, because you got a bigger horse, you know, and the height. Your springs, you got to make sure you got strong springs and everything on it. You can put a light spring on there if you want them, but you ain't gonna do no put it right from underneath of it. You know? That's like a man got one up here now, up here on Retreat Street. The gear is no good at all. I told the man it's no good, but he still insists that he want a body put on it. So I won't do it. I got the body built already up, set up in my yard right now. I just don't want to put it on there. I'm sure I'd rather go on and put it on one of the gears. I got 3 gears. Put it on one of them gears, and I try to get him to buy my gear from me, see. They don't do that. It's just partners they got, and they ain't got together yet on it. They're going to do something between now and next week. Because my daughter's on me, say, I want that wagon out there because I'm going to have a party for her daughters. A birthday party. She just laid the law down to me. In my own house. You got to do this. I'm telling you. Now,
how do you feel about, now most of the guys have to go up to Pennsylvania to buy a wagon.
right.
Whereas here you are, you know, knowing all about wagons in terms of, you know, how did that happen?
Correction. They don't go to Pennsylvania to buy a wagon. They
Okay.
go around and buy parts for the wagon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just lay it out for me.
I do the same thing. I go up there and buy parts for the wagon.
Mm-hmm. So, but you, right now, you can fix a wagon here.
And bring it down and put it together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Let's see. Do you want to do the holler now?
No, just a couple more questions.
Okay. Do you know of any other Arabers from other cities?
In other cities?
Mm-hmm.
No, I do not.
So you've only known of Arabers here in Baltimore.
That's all.
Do you remember what the best days are for Arabbing?
The best days?
Mm-hmm.
The weekends.
Why?
Plus, now it's around check days. Weekends are in check days. That's the best days.
Why the weekends?
Beg pardon?
Why the weekends?
Well, yeah, because you know, people go to market and all that for on weekends, right? Mostly. So they got airways go around to different doors of people that can't get out, so they take the stuff right to them.
What kind of routes did you take through the city?
The route from west all the way over to the east. Some of them go all down south, north. I had no different, no Pacific, different ways. Sometimes I might work South Baltimore today, and tomorrow I might be way uptown somewhere. But I had a guy working the horse with me. He'd be down South Baltimore 1 minute, and 10 minutes later he way uptown. I said, wait a minute, is he Abraham or just driving the horse up and down? Oh, Mike, I beat him down South Baltimore. You down there waiting on a few couple. When I get uptown, he way up there. I was like, that's something.
What kind of neighborhoods did you visit? What kind of neighborhoods did you go into?
Well, we go into different neighborhoods. They didn't have no white or black. We go around to any one of them.
So you just went to canvass the whole city.
Oh, yeah.
Where do you think the name Arabber came from?
What do they call it? They claim, I heard they said it came from overseas. Where they at? Arabians.
From the horses, Arabian horses, or just from Arabia?
That's I don't know this to be a fact. That's what I heard it came from. See, like they would load milk on camels and all that, donkeys, and they went from one village to another. By the time they get to one village, another, it's just by shaking it up, it's then turn into a cream or something like that. And we go over in the different villages. They used to make a sound. In Washington, they call it, what do they call it over there?
Buttermilk.
Huh?
With a buttermilk.
Yeah.
I forgot.
No. The sounds. The sounds.
I can't think of the name of it.
Hawkers. We call it hawkers. Yeah. But here in Maryland, out there, we call it Abraham. It's hollers. They had a man, Mr. Horace. He could load watermelons all the time. He had a voice on him too. He could say him all. He could sing that thing. I'm telling you. When your house is on fire and no farmers around, stick your head out the window, let the shack burn down. Oh, God, watermelon, got 'em ready to the ride. If you want sweet and watermelon, come to the Wagon mine. You with that? That's a Hawkins or a Howland, whatever you want to talk.
I got 2 more questions. The first is, you mentioned your most memorable event being at the market at 2 a.m. with a dishpan full into the house.
I didn't get that.
At the market at 2 a.m. with a dishpan full into the house. Do you remember what I'm... Oh, okay. Going to the market at 2 a.m. to sell dishpans in a house. Do you remember that event? Can you describe that event for us?
Going to the market at 2 a.m. in the morning, what?
And selling dishpans.
Dishpans?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah.
selling fish. And
Selling fish?
Fish.
Ah, okay.
Oh, and then people would bring the dishpans out.
Mm-hmm.
They get a dishpan full.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, well, you go down to the market and buy a barrel of fish for $1.50, or you go buy it for $1 during that time.
Mm-hmm. And when was this?
Huh?
When was this?
Late 30s and early 40s.
Mm-hmm. Well, you did your holler.
During the Depression time. Yeah.
Did you want to give us another example of one of your other hollers, or do you want to give us another example of one of your hollers?
Say I hoop in a hollow, till my throat got sore. Everyone for the miller wouldn't howl no more. Oh, God, won't the mirror.
Did Did you have another story, Steve?
I wanted maybe Teeth to tell us about, really about the wagon building. I guess who taught him, or I guess you just learned yourself.
Why do you paint the wagons red and yellow? And
I don't know why, but tell you the truth, but I know most of going back in my younger days, that's all I ever seen about. You might have some green and red ones once in a while, but most of I've seen is red. Well, the brightness of it, I figure it was. See, doing that, you had a lot of horses on the street, you know. And I think the brighter the color, it reflects within people's eyesight, you know, and then they had less accidents and all that. That's the only reason I could figure.
Anything else?
what did you ask?
Oh, no, I think he covered the wagons.
Okay.
Is that it?
Is there anything you would like to add about A-Rabbin and something?
No, I don't think I'm gonna I would add nothing to it. If I was out there doing it myself again, I might with it, but I ain't.
Okay. I think we're finished.
That's a cut.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Oh, you perfect welcome. Where you going, Mr. Baker?
I gotta go to the store.
Next.
No, when
It's
they come back.
Charlie.
You gotta